Hello, you beautiful and wondrous beings. I am inspired tonight to record a little transmission for you that is really going to be in the frequency of working with the culminating, with the peak energies. You could even say with the juiciest parts of the dragon heart energy that is streaming onto the earth and streaming directly into us that are either awake or lucid in this reality, attuned and aligned, or at the very least, curious to understand better what was all this dragon talk, what was all this dragon year energy about. Maybe you are still making up your mind, like, is it real? Is it real what the Chinese have known about for millennia and millennia? I would even go so far as to say longer than that, at least in their DNA, which oftentimes we don't highlight or we don't talk about how our DNA is, for many of us, seeded from other galaxies, from other cosmos. And even though we may be having a human experience here, even though we may be very, very calibrated to be here on Earth, we came with little seeds inside of us that we're going to ping and light up inside of us at precisely the right moment, the divine timing. And for many of us, it's been the last couple of decades. So this is a little bit of an energy update, a little bit of a Syrian flow. I'm feeling very Syrian today. I'm wearing a lot of blue, and I just have all of these divine vision pieces that I want to offer as medicine, that I want to offer as reflective waters. Maybe you can see I have a watery theme here. I have a watery serpent drum in the making. She's had a makeover. She's been transforming from this very powerful red, I would say red dragon. Yeah, red dragon, red serpent energy, she's becoming what she was always meant to be, which is a reflection of me actually becoming the Syrian serpent stream, or the Syrian serpent consciousness on this planet that is ready to break the waters, is ready to break the surface, you could say. It's coming up from the depths of the oceans, is coming up from the depths of the rivers and the lakes, and I would even say the inner earth's waters. So take a little moment with me and just feel the frequencies of this beautiful incense from Bali. It is so beautiful. It is so high, high frequency. It's only for very special days and special moments and special transitions. And we're really in that, I was going to say transmissions, but I said transitions. So we're going to go with that. We're in this transitory, we're in this liminal space between preparing to complete the dragon cycle in Maya time, which is a 13-day cycle, which many years we experience a specific archetype twice, because the Mayan calendar functions on a 260-day wheel of the year. So obviously the calendar that we use globally is 365 days. So there's already like a bit of distortion there. But in this instance, it's kind of a blessing in disguise that we experienced a beautiful, powerful dragon cycle. I believe it was in March. And we're experiencing another one currently in November, December, or actually just December. What day is it? Yeah, just December. So the reason I'm thinking of November is because we had these really beautiful frequencies of dragons coming in with the Scorpio Ophiuchus season in True Sky astrology. Then we layer on top of that a Mayan cycle of time, Kan energy, life force, the teacher, the serpent that grows into its wings, that becomes Kukulkan, that becomes the plumed serpent, that becomes this figure that we know in the Americas as a dragon. From serpent to dragon, because you grew your wings, because you raised your life force, your kundalini, your chi, your consciousness, your essence. You raised it up to the cosmos, you raised it up to the heavens, you raised it up to the ancestors, the realms that inform, again, our collectives down here, but they don't inform us without our participation. So it's like they can be streaming what they want, but if nobody's here to pick up the signal, if no one's here to open the throat box or to open the womb or to open the belly or the solar plexus to then say, this has to be talked about, this has to be emanated, you know, in a way through body, through dance, through ritual, through whatever forms, through art, through creations, through song, through drumming. I mean, there's infinite ways to express dragon consciousness, dragon life force, Christed energy that especially floods the planet on in and around the portals of the year, which we could say, just to keep it simple, there's a cross. Those would be our equinoxes, our solstices, and then there's another cross, which would be the halfway point between solstice and equinox, equinox and solstice, solstice and equinox. So I just want you to get excited about the potential of this last little, I would say, run. It's like the last leg of a marathon that you've been running. And it's interesting because the dragons really started coming into my life about 4 years ago, in and around the portal of December 2020. Now, I wasn't quite ready to receive them fully in December 2020, but I was making the preparations. I took myself to Mount Shasta. I worked with the land. I worked with the grids. I worked with unicorn energy. I worked with crystals. I worked with the waters and the mountains and the spiraling on the land and the meditative states that my ancestors actually would take me on, because Mount Shasta happens to be a very spiritual hub in the world. But in 2020, it was quite, it was within, because everybody was kind of in their own little pockets. Not too many people were sharing outwardly, not too many people were gathering. And so there was this little window of learn, receive, work with the energies that are incoming on a personal level. And then it will prepare you to then commune with others, to then go deeper, to then share more and receive and also give more. And so Mount Shasta energy in 2020, it is not the Shasta energy of today in 2024. I like to say that a part of me always knows where to move on the grid before big planetary alignments, before big kind of solar flares or aurora or just changes that as a collective awakening to the power of this country, whatever country you are gridded in, wherever you are living. So I will use the United States as an example because that's where Mount Shasta is. That's where I am. I'm in Southern California right now, so I'm still within the United States as a grid. And then please add your respective country here, where you are located now. The consciousness of these locations where we choose to incarnate, where we choose to work, live, raise families, date, love other people, share our gifts, grow, change, fail, lose, learn. These places are very, very special because what I'm being guided to share specifically for those of you attuned to dragon energies, this is why you're watching this. This is how you found me. It's because you're attuned to dragon energies, dragon frequencies, dragon change. You are being primed. You are being prepared to move from these homes, from these hubs, from these little cocoony kind of places where you've been cozy for a while, where you've been growing, learning, deep diving and perfecting, almost like a mad scientist in the lab that's like, I'm not leaving until the experiment proves to be, true, or that I get the result, or the evidence, better word, the evidence that, I've done it. And now, like Eureka, now I can go and I can expand and I can share this. And what you're actually going to be sharing moving into the year of the Serpent, 2025, which begins on January 29th, is you're going to be sharing yourself as an activated human dragon, as a pillar of light, as a ping in the cosmos, in the universes, in the multiverses, that this earth has, again, it welcomed you. And then the divine timing with the dragon year, the divine timing with the last couple of decades being an acceleration of codes and frequencies and light and solar flares and plasma and knowledge and ancient wisdom remembered in ourselves, remembered in every single part of us. As we've cleared, as the layers have come off, as the masks have come off, as the fear has not stopped us from continuing to show up to this game, this simulation, this dream that we're all dreaming together. And we are in a powerful portal. Remember, I said liminal space, where you can start anchoring your dragon energy down into the root. Interesting. This is why Mount Shasta came up. Mount Shasta as the root chakra of the planet, at least there's a consensus on that, take it as it resonates. But Mount Shasta having this energy of root your dragon, root all of the cosmic, all of the high wisdom, the encoding, the light, the sound, these primordial, like the original, that's a perfect word, original frequencies. Start anchoring that down, bring it down, bring the dragon back down into the root, into humanity, into the earth, because dragon year handing us over to serpent year is a year where we're going to be moved on the grid, on the ground level. As far as I know, we can't teleport yet. As far as I know, we can send our consciousness to so many places. We can, bilocate and use a lot of our gifts, but we can't physically take our bodies to other locations like that. So we're actually going to need to move on the earth level, like a serpent who is very, very connected to the vibrational frequencies of Gaia, if not the most connected animal of Earth, that feels every single pulse, every single vibration, every single breath, every inhale and exhale of our dragon mother planet, Gaia, Pachamama. So that might be a mouthful, but get excited because it means there's going to be a lot of synchronistic, high invitations. I would even say destined moves and shifts and changes and unexpected, like unexpected miracles, unexpected windfalls. Only unexpected because if you're expecting something, you kind of have this grasping, kind of desperate energy that doesn't really allow for the universe to give you what it wants to give you. Maybe it even wants to give you more than you've been able to dream up. Bigger. Maybe it wants to give you like the magnum opus. This is a really beautiful word because it's like it's a musical term. You know, when you create this amazing, it's the best work that you've ever created. But right now, you actually can't perceive yet what that is. So if you're grasping and you're expecting something, you're not leaving the space for the magnum opus, for the miracles. That is dragon energy. That is God source streaming down, 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 down to the dragons here on earth. The dragons in the land, the dragons in the water, the dragons in the elements, and the dragons in us as humans, which are few and far between. Don't think that there's just, you know, billions of dragons on this planet because they're in human form, because I'm here to tell you that, sorry if it pops your bubble, but from my perspective, there isn't. And that's not a bad thing. It's actually how God, it's actually how Source doles out the energy, right? The consciousness in a way that there's like a self-protecting mechanism there, where not everybody has access to something so powerful, so pristine and world changing and galaxy changing and cosmic changing, because people can take that and run with it and do a lot of things that we've seen happen in the cosmos, in the universe, in the history of even just Earth itself, where power becomes the motivating factor and not a byproduct of being part of God's light. You know, it's a byproduct to raise your frequency to such a degree that you are God's like most precious, the closest like stream, truly the closest stream, where if anybody was going to receive the most important information for how to move forward in the next couple of decades, it's going to be the people, it's going to be you, it's going to be those of us that have been diligently working for the good of all, for the good of all. Gaia, solar system, Milky Way, and so on and so forth, out, 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 as it goes. So I want to just honor that I've loved navigating this year with all of its really subtle frequencies, really subtle kind of demands even of me, where I would get certain messages or certain impulses, and then, you know, like kind of what I said, where I wasn't necessarily dreaming as big as Spirit or God Source or Mother, Father, God wanted me to. And so I had a certain vision, and then I was trying to enact that vision, and that created like some room for fear to come in, and for moments where I had to really step back, recalibrate, reevaluate, a lot of re-energy, like reassess, relax even. Like I just had to slow down. I had to be. Yeah, be is is just a perfect frequency to bring us to why I even sat down to record this energy in the Kan cycle, which is a 13-day cycle that we're in. Today happens to be the energy of the bee, of the frequency of Ahmak, which is the human, and it's also the energy of the bees, the energy of bee consciousness, the energy of honey. And there's a connection to Venus there as well. You could even say to abundance. So I have a little bit of honey here, and I'm gonna put a little bit of honey both on my tongue and on my heart. And just know that this is like transmitting across time and space so that you can really feel the frequency of the hive, so that you could really feel the frequency I'm hearing of the hathors, of the bee priestesses, which the bee priestesses would have been connected to the energy, the name Melissa. And Sa is actually the sound code of the serpent for me. It's the principal sound code that has come down in many, many ceremonies, in many, many deep dives, mushroom ceremonies, cacao ceremonies, silence, moments on the land, moments in the water, where just very, very clearly I received that mother tone is Ma, father tone is Ta, and the frequency of the divine child is, it comes straight from actually Gnostic teachings of Yeshua and Magdalene's child, at least their firstborn child, which was named Sarah Tamar. And what I find so interesting about this is that, so you have the Sa code, you have the serpent code, and then Tamar means date, like the fruit from the date palm tree. And Tamar actually has father, mother in the name, Ta and Ma. So there's something there. Sarah Tamar is a code. And Sa is going to be your ticket to epic serpent journeying, remembrance, recoding, rejoicing, victory in your DNA, your Kundalini life force, and in your mission here as a serpentining grid worker being that gets to move around the planet in Year of the Serpent. So I'm going to put this little bit of honey actually on my high heart, which is right here, like where basically where the collarbone ends. And hopefully it doesn't make my shirt all, even if it does, I'll just throw it in the washer after, but really want to rub the honey into the skin. And I'm feeling also a little bit in the throat, because serpent energy for me has been so, at least Syrian serpent energy has been so connected to activating the power of the voice, activating the power of visibility. Like you are going to hear me, you are going to feel me, you're going to hear the serpent hissing wherever I am if I'm on the land. And, you know, maybe you're even going to hear somebody else synchronistically doing their sacred practices, their grid work. It's almost like a serpent network, a serpent call, even like echolocation, but it's going to be, I'm hearing like where the land and the water meets. And this makes a lot of sense because I'm actually going to record a podcast about some of the frequencies that I've been living out, but that really want to be shared from a much more embodied, grounded place, where basically I'm not holding back anymore the kind of frequencies that have been incoming this year and reminding me how much I need to move on the earth with the waters and the land, and how showing up as vibrant and as true, however, scary, however controversial, maybe not even anymore. Who freaking knows? People are talking about aliens all the time. Like, maybe the serpent isn't that scary anymore. I don't know. I'm still trying to gauge it, but all of my sacred tools, all of my sacred totems, they're all serpent connections. For a long time, the serpent has been seeking me out as will you speak up for us? Will you be part of that remembrance and come from a place of joy, sharing this information, not from a place of like, oh, all the serpent priestesses that were murdered in the temple of I'm not hearing temple of Athena. I know there's a serpent connection with how they pitted Medusa and Athena against each other, and supposedly that's why Athena ended up with her shield that has the image, the face of Medusa with all the serpent hair, as this like frozen, I don't know if it was frozen image, but this like really scary image that would stop people in their tracks in battle. I guess I'm bringing this up because what I feel to share about is just a little tease. A lot of this is going to just flood through into your being, into so many of us in the year to come. On that marker, as soon as the dragons say, serpents, go, you guys take the wheel now. January 29th, 2025, Chinese Lunar New Year. This is when we kick off the year of the serpent. And what I'm hearing is a lot of the serpent stories are going to be restored to their truest frequencies. A lot of the serpent tales are going to be unspun. The lies are going to be removed. There's going to be a lifting, a true lifting of the veil of why the serpent has been so demonized, of why the serpent and all the women associated with the serpent specifically, because think about it, how many stories truly, there are many myths. I think Krishna has a connection to like the 7 serpents, something like this, or conquering serpents or playing with serpents, if I'm not mistaken. But culturally around the world, when we think of serpents, we're almost always remembering that the women were associated with serpents, serpent energy, serpent power. That's how they wielded, their sensual and their sexual and their kundalini energy, like a serpent would move, right? Not linear, not straight. Like, women aren't even designed to look like a straight line. Like, we're literally designed to be curvaceous, to remind us that the serpent and us is like this. We need that energy. We need that encoding to come fully online, not just in those of us that have been on this journey, but also in those that have been very comfortable with all the stories and with all the overtones, again, the lies, the stories that were spun about serpents, like how the serpent tempts Eve, right? And therefore also Adam. All of these things are going to be slowly dissolved. Here's another serpent for you. This is a slingshot. And I remember I bought this on my birthday in Guatemala. The first time I was there, I didn't know why I had to have it, but it's one of the first serpent totems that I have. And now there's just so many. I can't even show them all to you, but water buffalo serpent earrings, which are fairly new, and they come from Bali actually. So really, really preparing for Year of the Serpent with a lot of grace and surrender, a lot of, again, empowerment of knowing that this is not something that people necessarily, not too many people are going to be rushing to talk about this or to embody it, even less, right? A lot of people will talk about it, but then they don't actually live from that frequency. And that's why a lot of this year has been about put the ego to rest. What you should be sharing is what you're actually fucking living, not some packaged, very like a media kit in the movie terms, like a media kit, right? Where everything's like PR, right? Public relations, like, okay, let's package it like this, and it's gotta be super pretty, and Year of the Serpent, and you're gonna see so much of that this year. And it's okay that that's out there. If anything, that gives even more like fire in your belly to show up as the embodied version of serpent wisdom in the way that is unique to your encoding, in the way that is unique to your cosmic, stellar, galactic, and earthly makeup. So did you get those four? Cosmic, stellar, like from other stars, like Sirius, like stars in the Pleiades, galactic, kind of goes with stellar, but could be a little further out there, other galaxies outside of our Milky Way, and then earthly. So I can't wait to interact with you. I can't wait to meet more of you in the Year of the Serpent. There's going to be a lot of ways that you can join, learn, meet up, even a possible retreat that I'm working on. It's a very likely retreat, actually. I'm just trying to decide where in the world. Isn't that so funny? Because there's a lot of places that are really close to my heart, and there's a couple of places that have come in like me, serpent energy, serpent energy, serpent energy. Like, please anchor a retreat, a divine feminine retreat here. And I'm actually guided to show you this card, Divine Sisterhood. And it says, community of the spiritual sisters and brothers of the light. So thank you for that reminder with this beautiful Hathor image here with the big ears. Again, she's the goddess of sound healing, sound temple technology. And she's calling for the gathering. She's calling for the reunion of serpents, serpent brothers, serpent sisters, and especially those that want to anchor in the Syrian serpent stream. So as I knock the purple light here, and yeah, I feel to just close out with a little bit of unicorn energy, because why not? This is my life right now, is just like unicorns, serpents, dragons, quetzales, the amalgamation of codes that we each carry is so beautiful when you just step in, hold that frequency no matter what, and do it from a place of authenticity, and do it from a place of like you actually enjoy talking about these things. You actually enjoy talking about your journey, how you even got in here, how you met dragons. And this is bringing me back to Shasta, because I'm going to close with this call, actually, for you to deepen over the next couple of weeks with the energies of Glastonbury, or the energies of the realm of Avalon, which is the heart chakra of the planet. And that's where the dragons really showed up for me. So Mount Shasta was like the preparation. It's like I was calling it, but I was still clearing, cleansing, preparing. I was like on the brink of receiving that communication, and boom, landing in Avalon, Glastonbury, England. About a week, 10 days after that, after leaving, no less, leaving Mount Shasta on Christmas Day, the 25th, or Christmas Eve, and then landing in, a week's time in England on January 1st, 2021. So the dragons are asking you to call upon the emerald, the earth dragons, the fire dragons, the water dragons of the springs, the red and white spring. There's also a black spring. Some of you need to call upon the dragons to give you whatever else you need, whatever courage you still need to summon in these weeks, in these first months of 2025. And they're here. They're here for it. The crystal dragons, the crystalline dragons, the Atlantean, Lemurian dragons, the Hyperborean dragon stream. Antarctica dragons are coming up as well, like these icy dragons. Takes me to Iceland, the volcanic fire and ice dragon energy as well. Did I mention air dragons? Like, did I miss anything? There's a lot of dragons that are available, and whichever one really pinged your heart, 555 on my clock when I said that. Whichever one really pinged your heart, fly with that, meditate with that, listen to that, journal with that, put some music on, move with that, sound, make some sounds, drink some cacao, and then let me know in the comments how it all landed. And I will see you very soon for a couple of more Oracle, Cacao and Oracle videos, couple transmissions from the grid, probably a couple more shares from this dragon year that I still haven't edited, some videos that I really want to share with you, including this really powerful tree activation frequency in the year of Wood Dragon that was filmed and recorded in Tikal, Guatemala, the beautiful, most sacred crown chakra point of that country. And I'm so honored to be an emissary of light for my Mayan blood, my soul connections to dragons of the Americas, like Kukulkan, Quetzalcoatl. Yeah, they're all here, all dancing with us. They're all here on this transmission. So just soak it all up. I love you, you dragon beings. I love you, you dragon grid workers of the highest light frequency quotient. And I cannot wait to see you in 2025, year of the serpent. I'm gonna take this last bit of honey on the tongue. Ciao, bellos. Ciao.